Good afternoon, my Real News Media TV family. Welcome back to the channel for another news update. And in the news this afternoon, Kahal Yahweh leader granted bail. Leader of the Montego Bay-based Kahal Yahweh religious group, Omar Thompson, who was convicted of 2 counts of cruelty to children and sentenced on June 29 to 22 months in prison, has been granted bail by the Court of Appeal. He will remain on bail pending the outcome of his appeal. Thompson, who retained the services of King's Counsel Peter Champagny and attorney-at-law Samoy Campbell for his appeal, was granted bail on Tuesday following a hearing in chambers at the Court of Appeal. The judge, after hearing the bail application, granted Thompson bail in the sum of $500,000 with a surety. The judge also ordered reporting conditions and gave strict orders for the appellant not to have any contact with the witnesses. A family court judge had found Thompson guilty of abusing 2 children, ages 12 and 14. In one instance, he used the belt to beat the complainant in the palm of the hand, and in another instance, publicly shaved the head of the other child. Thompson is now seeking to challenge his convictions and the sentence. The charges stemmed from an incident in 2020 on the compound of the Kahal Yahweh group in Montego Bay, St. James. JPS announces new president and the CEO. Hugh Grant has been announced as the new president and the chief executive officer of the Jamaica Public Service Company. The appointment takes effect on August 1, 2024. The JPS says Grant has more than 25 years of experience in the utility business with extensive industry knowledge across the generation, transmission, and the distribution sectors of the industry. He joins the JPS from Consolidated Edison Company, the energy company that serves the 10 million people of New York and Westchester in the U.S. In his most recent position, Grant served as the Vice President of Steam Operations at Con Edison. In making the announcement, JPS Chairman Damian Obiglio said Grant brings a solid combination of technical and leadership experience to the position. The new JPS CEO has extensive industry knowledge and a strong commitment to customer service excellence. During this time of change and the transformation in our industry, he is positioned to build upon the work that has already been done at the JPS to take the company into the future, Obiglio said. The JPS says Grant is of Jamaican origin. He holds a Bachelor of Science degree in Electrical Engineering from Florida International University in Miami, Florida, a Master's of Science degree in Information Systems from Pace University, and a Master's of Business Administration from Columbia University in New York City. Media barred from sitting of Keith Clark murder trial because of national security concerns. The trial of 3 members of the Jamaica Defense Force charged with the 2010 murder of businessman Keith Clark continued in the Home Circuit Court in downtown Kingston on Wednesday, with the members of the media locked out. When inquiries were made as to why the media was barred, the news was told that there was a risk of national security secrets being revealed to the public. It's because the issues of national security were being discussed, a news source explained. In the witness box on Wednesday was a Brigadier Mahatma Williams of the Jamaica Defense Force, who has been on the stand since Tuesday when he began his testimony detailing how certain events unfolded on May 27, 2010, which was the day Accountant Clark was fatally shot at his house at 18 Kirkland Close in Red Hills, St. Andrew. Clark was shot inside his house more than 20 times, including in his back, during a security forces operation. The operation was reportedly aimed at capturing then-fugitive drug lord Christopher Dudus Coke, who was believed to have been hiding in Clark's basement with 7 to 8 of his heavily armed henchmen. On trial for murder in relation to the shooting death of Clark are Lance Corporals Greg Tinklin and Odell Buckley, as well as Private Arnold Henry. It was reported that when members of the JDF and the police arrived at the location, gunmen engaged them in a fierce gun battle, which led to at least 1 soldier being injured. When the smoke cleared, only the accountant lay dead at the scene inside his master bedroom. On Tuesday, Brigadier Williams told the trial that the plan during the operation was to safely capture and detain Coke. The soldiers who wore face covering, they would have been responsible for securing Coke. We had a helmet and a vest to put on him to prevent him from getting injured, and then persons would guard him to the vehicle and then to where he was to be detained, the senior military man said on Tuesday while being questioned by prosecutor Jeremy Taylor. Brigadier Williams shared that approval was given for soldiers to wear masks during the operation. Attorneys representing the 3 soldiers insisted that instead of being allowed to safely apprehend Coke, the drug lord's heavily armed henchmen who were hiding out with him in the basement exchanged gunfire with the security forces before escaping in a heavily forested area at the back of Clark's residence. Attorneys representing the soldiers asserted that Clark possibly fired his licensed firearm at members of the security forces. Brigadier Williams gave a blow-by-blow account on Tuesday of certain events leading up to and during the operation at Clark's house. I had a troop deployed based on intelligence given at Oak Park Camp. We engaged in battle procedure. There was a troop commander, but I was in charge of the troops. We received the intelligence on the number of persons we were seeking out, how they were armed, their morale and how they were trained, Brigadier Williams said as he told the court that there were teams that left the military base for the location before his team. I remained at Oak Park Camp and another team also remained behind. We were on duty, so we responded to an unfolding situation. Approximately 20 soldiers were deployed with me. I believe Lance Corporal Tinglin was there with me, but at the time, I did not know who was on the ground with me. It was after the fact I knew who was there. I did not see who was on the convoy with me. There was no list with the names of persons given to me, Brigadier Williams said. He told the court that on his way to the location, he could hear gunfire, and when he reached the location, he saw soldiers taking cover. Brigadier Williams said he was the highest-ranking member of the JDF at the location at the time. He told the court that an assessment was made that the persons inside the Clark's house at 18 Kirkland Close could have been held hostage, and therefore efforts were made to cut their way through the front entrance grill and door of the house. Brigadier Williams said he received a report that soldiers were fired upon from inside the house and that an injured person was escorted from the location. They used a power saw to gain entry. When they were using the power saw, I was behind a cover near to the gate. After a couple of seconds, I heard a firing, similar to what you would hear in training. I went inside the living room and saw 2 ladies, and the policeman told me that someone was shot and injured downstairs or within the house. I don't believe I saw any of the accused men in the house, said Brigadier Williams. He told the court that soldiers on his team received approval to wear balaclava masks during the operation. I went outside and called my Chief of Defense Staff, Major General Stuart Saunders. We departed the location and another group of soldiers took over the location. I am unable to say if any of the accused persons departed the location with me. Approval was given for my group to wear balaclava by the Chief of Defense Staff, said Brigadier Williams. Guys, thank you for watching. See you this evening at 6 p.m. for another news update.